I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Kansas voters have decided to preserve abortion access in the state. On Tuesday, they voted down a ballot measure that would have paved the way for new restrictions. This is the first major test of Americans' views on abortion rights in the wake of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, and a sign of how unpopular abortion bans may be, even in predominantly Republican states. On the Senate floor Wednesday, Senator Patty Murray applauded the ballot measure's failure. The Washington Democrat said Kansas voters, quote, sent a message loud and clear. People do not want their fundamental rights stripped away.
Madam President.
The Senator from Washington.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to start by recognizing the overwhelming victory for the right to abortion in Kansas last night. Since the day the Supreme Court struck down the right to abortion and upended the lives of women across the country, the American people have been using their voices to speak out against Republicans' extreme bans. And now, for the first time since the Dobbs decision, they've had the chance to speak with their votes. And they send a message loud and clear. People do not want their fundamental rights stripped away. They will not forget Republicans' cruelty in dragging us back half a century. And when abortion is at stake, they're not going to stay on the sidelines. Madam President, last night, the people of Kansas sent a message as clear as any I've ever seen in politics. Now, today, we're going to see if Republicans are finally getting that message or if they're going to continue to ignore the American people. Because Democrats are here today with legislation to protect doctors providing legal abortion care and make sure they can do their jobs, practice medicine, and save lives without the threat of legal action. I really can't believe we need this bill at all. We're talking about doctors who are following the law and simply want to provide care to their patients. It's not enough for Republicans that their cruel abortion bans have meant appointments that have been canceled, prescriptions that have been denied, doctors forced to wait until patients got sicker, wait until women are actually at death's door before they can provide life-saving care. Nope, they're going to go further than that. Now they're coming after doctors providing legal abortion care too. I really can't emphasize that enough. These doctors are following the law and still facing legal threats and harassment. Right now in Indiana, a doctor is being investigated after providing an abortion for a 10-year-old who was raped. Think about that. A doctor is being investigated after doing their job, after simply providing health care, care that can be life-saving, care that was entirely legal in their state, care that, up until the Republicans' far-right Supreme Court overturned Roe, was legal across the country. The fact that Dr. Bernard is being investigated after just doing her job and helping her patient is chilling. And I want to be very clear. While Dr. Bernard's story may be in headlines across the country, she is not the only doctor facing threats, and she will not be the last. At this very moment, Republican state lawmakers are drafting legislation that would make it a crime to provide abortion care to a resident even in another state where it is legal. From talking with doctors back home in Washington, I can tell you they are following this closely and they're worried. I've heard from providers back in Spokane and across Washington state who are worried that they could face lawsuits that threaten their practices and their livelihoods just for doing their jobs, just for providing care patients need, care that is once again completely legal in my state. So Democrats are here today standing up for doctors. We've been drafting a bill of our own, the Let Doctors Provide Reproductive Health Care Act, and we're proud that Dr. Bernard herself supports this bill. I want to thank my colleagues, Senator Rosen from Nevada, Senator Lujan from New Mexico, and Senator Padilla from California for their partnership and critical work on this bill, as well as my colleague, Representative Schreier from my home state of Washington, who is leading the legislation in the House. This is another simple bill to address a threat we know is far too real. The Let Doctors Provide Reproductive Health Care Act will protect doctors providing legal abortion care and make sure that they can practice medicine and save lives without fear of legal threats and intimidation. It will make clear the attacks we have seen on doctors are unacceptable, that politicians should not be harassing or scaring or investigating or threatening or punishing doctors for providing care that is perfectly legal, that patients want, and that in many cases is even necessary to save lives. Democrats are going to try to pass this bill right now because we believe no doctor should be punished for caring for patients and providing legal abortion care. And if Republicans who have claimed they don't want to punish doctors actually mean it, if those words are more than just an empty talking point, more than another broken promise, they'll stay out of the way and let us get this done today. But if they don't, if they block us, like they blocked the legislation to protect the right to travel across state lines for an abortion, or like they blocked the legislation to expand family planning services, or like they blocked legislation to protect the right to contraceptives, their obstruction will continue to speak louder than any of their hollow claims about actually caring for patients or families or women. And even if they stop us from getting this bill done today, they are not going to stop us from continuing to put them on the record and hold them accountable for their positions. They're not going to stop us from doing everything we can to protect the rights and the people they are putting in grave danger. And they are going to have to answer to the people they represent, to patients, to providers, to families whose lives they are turning upside down. So, Madam President, as if in legislative session, I ask unanimous consent that the Judiciary Committee be discharged from further consideration of S. 4723. Senate proceed to its immediate consideration. Further, that the bill be considered